You ever have one of those days where it's just sort of it's rainy and it's just the opposite of the day. It's rainy and it's cold, and you just sort of want to sit on the couch, cuddle up, and watch movies. Well, that happened to me a few weeks back. And, after I'd watched enough Home Improvement to go ahead and renovate all of Waco, Texas, I said, look, I needed a little break from that. That's too much and gave my wife too many ideas of something else she probably want to do. So I'm flipping through the channels and I come across The Natural. Now, we all have these movies of which, regardless of what time and how many times we've seen it, we'll stop and watch it again when we don't have anything else to do. I like Armageddon as well. And in The Natural, if you haven't seen this, it's an old baseball movie. It's set back, I think, in about the 40s, probably. They're still got the mitt that's barely bigger than my hand today. I have a fan base back there, too. And it's about Robert Redford plays the hero in this movie, and he's a farm boy from Nebraska, and the movie starts off, and he's got all this promise, and then something weird really happens. He meets this woman, gets shot. Anyway, it's not a great opening to the movie. Anyway, it comes back in 15 years or so later. He comes in, you see him come into the dugout, and he's like at the age when people should be retiring. As a matter of fact, the manager, Wilford Brimley, said, hey, look, nobody starts playing when they're your age. Anyway, Wilford Brimley's having sort of a rough year in his contract and all these other things. As any good story, there's a couple subplots that are going on, but Robert Redford's there every day and doesn't get to play. And it comes to a point where Brimley says, his manager says, look, we're going to send you down. He says, you can't do that. This is my only shot to do this, and I'm not going to go down. So I've been here every day, and you haven't got me a chance to do anything. So he says, okay, you show up to batting practice tomorrow, and we'll see from there. So he goes to batting practice, and he has this bat that he made from a tree when he was a kid. He made from a tree that was struck by lightning. It has a lightning bolt on it, and he calls it Wonder Boy. That's his bat. Anyway, the batting practice turns into this wild affair. We hit 7 or 8 or 10 balls out of the ballpark. And nobody can believe it. And Brimley comes out and says, let me see that bat, and looks at the bat. Says, has the assistant manager go weigh it and make sure it's all good. He says he can use it, and he shows up. The next day, he starts to being able to play. Anyway, the team was really sort of bad up to that point, bad news bears-ish, if you will. And he comes on, they start winning. They start getting on this other thing on this one, and Roy's sort of carrying them all along. He's got everybody on board. And so it gets to the end, and like the final scene of the movie is they're sitting there and they're up against their nemesis, and Roy's at bat, and they need runs. They need to come in and do this. The bases are full. They need those runs to win the game. And so he comes back up, and he has two balls get thrown to him, and they switch pitchers. And so the new pitcher comes out, and he's this farm boy. So it flashes back to sort of him. This represents him starting the career. Flashes back, gets on the mound, and anyways, it's 0-2. He throws a fastball, and it goes past him. So he gets a second ball, and he gets another strike. So now it's a full count. And he comes back up, and then just before the scene here, there's a lightning strike that happens up there. You can sort of see it in the sky, a little worry on everybody's face. Pitch comes across, Redford swings and hits the ball. It's a home run, but it's foul. And so as he's walking back, his bat's broken. What are you going to do? And cue the music. Oh, starts coming up. And this is about the time tears start coming in my eyes. I know I've seen it 100 times, and this is probably the 101st time. Comes back up. He has this bat boy who he's been mentoring, and they made a bat together. Says, pick me out a winner, Bobby. He picks him out, brings their bat that they brought back, that he built. And he shakes his head and goes on. And so now the next pitch comes off, and he swings at it, and it launches. The music is just fantastic in this. Randy Newman, you may know him from Short People or these other things, or Toy Story. He plays this sound, the horns are on, it's going on, it's very big. He hits it up in the lights, and there's sparks coming everywhere, and he runs around, and he comes across the home plate, and you see, at the end of the scene, you see the ball still going out into space, and it turns into the next day where he catches the ball, and he's out playing with his son. So it sort of goes full circle. I'm sitting there in tears. And I got to thinking that this story was a lot like the struggle that I'm having as an emerging speaker. And we all have that as an emerging speaker. You know, I've hit home runs in 200 plus presentations and talks and stages I've had in the corporate life. But those have been in the corporate life and done that. So there's not a lot, you know, it's unknown to the, you know, it's not a lot of TED Talk. Although I've done a TEDx talk. And I have that capability. I'm showing up every day. I'm honing my skills. I'm making connection with other speakers. I'm going into different events and learning more so I can be better myself. So when I get that chance to go to batting practice, I'm going to come up, regardless of the size of the room, and I'm going to hit it out of the park. And I've done this over and over again. My goal is to impact one person, hopefully more and usually more, but at least one person to change and think about something a little bit differently. Really, as a speaker, that's what we all hope for, to sort of change a mind to go do things. And so keep that in mind. And if you're a scout for another baseball team or something, and you're looking for an old guy to come in and be the speaker, or if you just know a great event or something that needs a good speaker, go to the Doug Thompson TX and sort of learn more about me. I got more information there. You can contact me. I'm happy to come in. So finally, in closing, put me in, coach.